And hello to all my Libra friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for March 2022. Now, today they've dialed up for you a specific corner spread. They want to talk about health. Now, health spreads don't sound that entertaining, don't sound that exciting, but I found that they're some of the most interesting spreads that I've ever done. They want to focus on that for you guys, so we're going to set it up in the storyline format. It's so important that they wanted to devote an entire spread to Libra's health in the month of March. So there's some important things in there that they want you to know. Now, not just physical health either, because they asked that I conclude your reading with a chakra scrub. So that's spiritual health. So there's some things that are either clogged or working really good for your chakras that we're going to discuss at the end of your reading. We're going to waste no more time. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time, guys, to save time. Bringing you in right now so you can watch. These are the I like to do the ritual cuts live and on camera. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great March. We're rolling. We're on. Talking fast, trying to get it all in. You know, these spreads are going to be big for you guys, so very important. These are my ritual cuts. I cut the decks into 3 different pieces, put them back together in a separate order. It satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Do that with both decks here, and then they're ready to run. So there we go, all set. So here's the storyline. It's going to start with 5 cards. I always do the storyline with 5 cards, and then I expand it out as I need to from there. Oh, look at all these blockages we got going. Jumper. Okay. We are going to need more cards than that. That's close. Let me see. Is that a facing enough? I think that's going to be good. That is a little bit of a facing. You can tell her head's kind of like cocked in. Is that in view? Perfect. Okay, so these are the main things that I want you guys to see. We do have some blockages, 4 out of 6. That's enough to do a discard to see if they all need to be uprighted or not. Some readers automatically just at this point turn them all upright, but I read them inverted and regular. Different definition pools there, so 78 definitions turn into 156. It allows me to be very accurate by doing so. So here is the discard to see if we leave it the way it is or upright. Now another discard here is, well, I kind of did it out of camera, but here it is. It's inverted, so that lets me know we need to bring these guys all back up. So here we go. Everybody's up. That's what they want. So now we got to get the pairings right. Pairings. You're away, you're away. So we're looking at 3 different stories. They're going to be set up like this, still in view. We got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need more cards to describe. Now these are not going to matter which way, if they're upright or not, because I've already kind of been through that. So this is just going to go the way it is. Now this is the part where it gets big. Storylines are always big, even though it's just 3 stories. There's just no avoiding it. So I'm going to get the cards first, and then I'll move them how I need to, just to get them in picture for you, or at least attempt to. There's that. Those cards are all done. All done. Now I need angel cards, oracle cards to describe every single story. There's one here, one here, and one here. Now let's get it all on screen. Or try. The one up top is that guy, this group, story 1. Down here, going to be story number 2. And I think you've been able to see story 3 the entire time here, with the exception of that one being flipped. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Let's get to work. We got to do your chakra scrub too. Here we go, Libra. What is going on in your March, guys? What is going on? Let's find out. Story number 1 talks about really, really good time for health to be manifested. This is very empowering, guys. Very, very strong. They're kind of coming right off the bat, swinging for the fences here. This is a home run. Manifestation is very, very key, very strong here. In the Magician card, it's really the time when anything can happen here. Miracles, even. It's really based on you, though. Your consciousness is basically creating your reality here in your health corner. It's not all rainbow and bubblegum here either. There are kind of some caveats to this story number 1. And they're reminding me now that I also did not tell you guys that the storyline spread. I know a lot of you have kind of heard me say this before, and you kind of know already, but the storyline spread is really all about finding the story that's right for you. There may be multiple stories here that resonate with you. It's okay if they do, but it's really all about finding the one. So if this first story doesn't really fit you, doesn't fit perfectly, hang around for the story 2 and story number 3, because really it's all about finding one big story for you. Now, here's the caveats to story number 1. They're showing your health is very kind of confined right here. So whatever you're doing is very, very tight, very restricted, has got you pinned down a little bit. So it's very strict. Strict is probably the best word for it. So it makes me feel very diet related, or very, it could be exercise too, or whatever you're doing, even if it's just taking certain vitamins or not eating certain foods, whatever it is, it's very, very strict. That's what they show in the month of March. They're saying a lot of you have really been nurturing this as well as your love corner. It's a love kind of pop-in here. So this is family, close friends, all that kind of stuff. Some of that may play a very major part in your health too. Not just mental health, but physical health also. So some of you may be doing things with family members for health, such as exercising together, or, doing fun things that are, getting out and moving, going for a swim, going for a hike, doing these different things. Now there is an orphan card popping up for my Angel Oracle card here. This is letting me know that some of you are just kind of, you're either not feeling it, or it's just a little funky, or you kind of get in your own head here a little bit about this. You're almost kind of your own worst enemy here. So that is where I need to go back to the very first card, the Magician card. You can kind of make anything happen here in the physical plane. In the month of March, you Libras are really kicking high gear here, and that is really what they want you to focus on. Focus on your goals, especially your health ones here. They can very, very well be manifested into reality. So there's story number 1. Story number 2 over here, this is kind of, well, they're all kind of big, except for that first one. Let me adjust a little bit here. Make sure I didn't move these too much and confuse myself. This goes there. This goes there. Okay. I almost did. I almost mixed myself up. But I didn't, don't worry. So here we're starting with this is physical health, but they're talking about work in this story first. Taking authority with work, not letting it affect your health. That's key. That's key. It's going to continue to be not just something that you entertain and take care of, but you really got to keep work in one corner. You got to keep health in another corner and not let them get too mixed up. Now, they do show that either work or your health, or perhaps both, are moving into a smoother area here, Libra. So it's very good to see much smoother waters here. Some of you, the card also means travel. It's not going to be for everybody, but I at least have to bring it up that some of you may be traveling in the month of March, and that's very good for your health too, especially if it's a joyous thing. Good for your mental health, if nothing else. Now, we already talked about keeping the work separate, so I'm not going to pound that home too hard. We have very, very good feminine health coming in here, guys. We have it in the Empress card. This is birth. This is fertility. This is all good things. Very, very, pink aura, feminine energies either around you or just flowing really good here. So keep that in mind. It doesn't, when the feminine energies are very strong, pregnancies can occur. You can be very fertile. That's what the card means. The card is fertility. Essentially, that's what feminine is. Femininity is fertility, long story short. So just keep that in mind if it's something you're trying to do or something you're not trying to do. They have the Two of Cups here being blocked. They have the Six of Wands being blocked. These are smaller kind of energies, but I do need to at least address them on a small level here. There is spending less time with somebody else here coming up for health. That's actually like a good thing. It's a good thing for you to kind of distance yourself a little bit here. Not like forever, not like for long, but almost like too much attached to the hip going on here. So that makes me feel like it's mostly for my coupled up Libras, but it could also be for my singles too. If you feel like you're spending way too much time with like one person or with, doing one thing, this could really work against you, and they want you to avoid that. So whatever that is for you here in story 2, that's the thing. There's a small setback here that comes up. The key word here is small. This is not a big deal. They really want to kind of let you know that even small setbacks here, that can pop up for health. Let me try to give you an example of what that could be. A small setback, like a small little failure of some form. So like if you cheated on a diet, let's say, and you weren't planning on it, for example. A small setback would be like, you're like, oops, I ate, ice cream or fried foods or whatever you did to screw up your diet. It's a small setback. Small. Okay. You don't want that to affect the big picture here. Okay. You made an error, or you had your small setback, something happened. Well, okay. Let's move on. Let's get back on course. Let's not worry about it. Let's get you back to where you were. And you can probably do that very fast. But that comes up in March, so just keep that in mind, that that temptation, I guess, is going to be there, whatever is going on there. They do show milk and honey, so there is a very nice sweetness to this story. I don't know if it has to do with the travel part or the area of, of work moving into a better place, or health moving into a better place, or like I said, both. But there's something very sweet there. They literally show an elephant bathing in honey, and with, honey and milk and honey. So rainbows everywhere, and just, there's some sweetness going on there to this story. There's an element here of hanging on to something for too long. So for some of you, this is going to be, different varying degrees for my different Libras of what they're talking about for you specifically. You're going to have to help me with the context here. I don't know each of you individually, unfortunately. Libras are great people, but that's kind of, I can't get to know you all on a personal level enough to be able to distinguish what this could be for you. So you got to really do this part here. This is hanging on to something for too long. You really got to kind of let it go here. So it's going to be different for everybody, what that is. It could be financial. The card, it's a pentacle, so it's, it brings up money in the card itself. But in a health reading, I think they're really talking more about the energy of just hanging on to something past the point of its prime. Now, what is that for you? It's going to be different. Now, that gets into the moon cycles, because that's purging energy, which is full moon. The full moon comes in on March 18th. That's the best time to get anything out of your life. Doesn't matter what it is, if it's people, if it's bad habits, emotional baggage. You get it out in the middle of the month, much better than if you try to do it other parts of the month. We have the new moon coming in. That's the manifester. We talked about that in story number 1. That manifesting health, that magician, bring it in brand new. That happens very good on March 2. Doesn't have to be on the 2nd of March. It could be any time toward the very beginning and work very well for you. Now, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet to kind of give you guys a reference guide and a resource to use to kind of visualize this stuff and work the moon cycles. Well, get them to work for you instead of against you. And you get that absolutely free just by signing up for my newsletter on the website. If you're already signed up for the newsletter, you're going to get it with the newsletter. There's nothing else you have to do. But if you're not signed up for the newsletter, well, get signed up for it. It's free. It's at the very bottom of my website. You scroll down to the end, scottsagent.com. You enter your first name, your last initial, your email address. I think that's it. You send that off, and then I'll send you back your moon cycle cheat sheet. So that's a no-brainer. Absolutely take advantage of that. Now let's get into your story 3. Story 3, I almost did it again here. I almost confused myself. That's what happens when the card is when the table is just full of cards everywhere. Health message coming in very, very soon. Radical change here in story 3. Coming in very early March, guys. For some of you here in story 3, this is just radical movement of change. things coming in early, so it's probably brand new, something you're going to start. So this is for my Libras that have not started anything brand new for health, that are planning on it. This is the main story for you guys here. So what are you going to do with this? First of all, they want to bring up peace. They want you to find peace or do something that will bring you peace, something that you can stick with. Not something that is a fad, trendy diet, or whatever is just popular for the moment. Instagram challenges and all these things. This is something that they want you to find congruity with, be able to keep doing it. Now, they do show learning new things, so a lot of you are being educated or perhaps educating yourself on health, different aspects of it. They want you to go about this in the right way, so no cheating, guys. No weird supplements or anything weird. Some supplements stuff is okay and very good to do, but nothing crazy. Don't go over the top with it. Long story short, they want you to go about this in the right way. It makes me feel like organic is the way. I'm not sure if that's what they're saying for everybody, but it's a thing. They're saying do things the right way. No toxicity here, guys. So this is very cleansing too. It might just be about a cleanse, cleaning up your diet or something like that, or, getting rid of the toxicity, maybe no more drinking, no more smoking or something like that. There's an action that is going on in your love corner. So this is that's a tough one because, I'm only looking at health. I don't have your love corner here to kind of like view and kind of go back and forth between here, but this is an action that is going on with love. This could be something that you do with somebody that's close to you. That would be probably where I lean the most towards. That's probably the most common definition. So since it's a general reading, really hard to get that right. But, there's love action coming in story 3. So, use the context for that as you will, but I'm just reading the card. That's what the card means. So that's a couple things what it could mean, and looks very good. All these different stories, you can tell they are completely different from each other. There's a couple things that intertwine where you could really kind of see parts of all of it in your life, but for most of you, this is very kind of like drawn out lines. So very interesting how they did that. Now let's get into your chakra scrub. I'm going to cut away to shuffle real quick just to in case Spirit would like to reuse some of these cards. I like to be thorough, so I'll be right back. Okay, Libra, I am back. The cards have been reshuffled. Here we go with the ritual cuts, both decks, and we're ready to run your chakra scrub. There we go. Cut it into thirds, put it back together in a separate order. Ready to go. All right, here we go. This is spiritual health. This is very important stuff for a lot of different signs. There's 5 of them, so almost half of my audience are getting the chakra scrub. I may talk about this in a separate order, but the way I run the cards is 1 through 7, top to bottom. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Blockages are good, not too many there. Couple oracle cards for some major themes. And that's it. We're ready. We're a little bit, there's 2 kind of main points of interest, the main 2 things. I am going to brush over kind of all of them for you, for the sake of being thorough, really. I'm going to actually start at the bottom. So we're going to go number 7 down here. They're showing lack of growth in your root chakra. This is the base of your spine, your connection to the actual spiritual plane from physical earth realm here, the matrix that we live in. So this is very kind of, the bridge almost is not blocked, but encouraging you to grow more here. We live in day-to-day distractive, illusionary lives. We have a lot of stuff going on. It's really easy to forget about the spiritual side of things. So Spirit is just kind of reminding you that they want this continue to grow. Don't get too sucked into the real world issues and so forth. As we move up into number 6 here, this is your orange, your emotional center. This is saying here it's the Chariot inverted. So it actually is saying they don't want you to be too tunnel visioned with your emotions right here. So it's the reverse definition of the Chariot, which in this case, they don't want you to be too tunnel visioned. They want you to kind of spread this out a little bit. Your emotions are too finite on one certain thing, or at least your chakra is. They almost say that this is better dispersed. That definition is going to be different for my different Libras, but that is the main thing there. It's basically going from this into this. That's really what they want there. They're talking about between worlds. We just talked about that in the root chakra here. So a lot of you here, these two are very connected, very root and sacral chakra here connected in your red with your orange. These are going to be very strong, powerful colors for you too. If you wear these colored gemstones or clothes, t-shirts, dresses, pants, etc., red and orange, very, very powerful colors for you. And as above, so below. So anytime that you're feeling a little weird, or you feel like you need to be a little bit more connected or a little bit more spiritual, use red and orange to do that. As we move up to yellow here, they're saying to slow down a little bit here. This is your willpower. This is your to-do. A lot of you might just be doing too much right now, or don't burn yourself out is what they're saying. Willpower is very good to see active, but at the same time, you don't want to be going 100 miles an hour when really you should be going 50. Okay, so just maybe slow it down a little bit with the activity. With there's no issue with your willpower. It's just a matter of are you going to do too much with it and have a negative effect because it's going so well for you? It's so active. So there we go with that. Continuing to move up here. Here's number 4. Number 4 is heart. Man, Libra's heart is the heart chakra is just. I don't want to use the word perfect, but it's pretty close. It's really, it doesn't need a lot of attention. I don't even need to say anything about it. It's really well balanced between here and there, and it is just, it's a loving month for my Libras. Make sure that you use that in a positive way. Spread the love very much. Let's continue to move up. I want to spend the most time on your top one here. As we get into your throat here, they're saying throat has a lot of different choices. It's going off in a lot of different directions, and a lot of different ways you can take this. So and this is your voice center, your communication, and so forth. So there's a lot of different ways. Basically, we're just going to try to get you away from thinking that there's only one way that you can take this here. Only one way that maybe you feel like you need to keep quiet about something. That's here. Or maybe you feel like the opposite, that you need to speak up. That's also here. You need to speak up and tell somebody, voice your mind or something like that. If you feel like there's only one option here, Spirit's saying that there's not. They want you to consider other options and alternatives. And of course, that's not going to hit everybody the same way. But you kind of know if you're feeling like you're either bottled up, like you need to speak your mind and tell somebody something, or if you're on the other end of that, and maybe you need to keep it in. They're saying that there's more than one option here. So they want you to consider alternatives, and that's really it. Besides that, the chakra is going open, and it's fine. So if it's something you do need to voice your opinion about, consider that. And if it's what you decide is best, go ahead and move forward with that. As we move up into third eye, this is your number 2 on my little chart. Wonderful. Another wonderful card, another wonderful kick, looking real good. It's represented by the Ace of Pentacles, so this is something brand new. A lot of you are starting new meditations. If not, it's a good time to do that in the month of March. It presents itself very well. Physical stuff here, and that's interesting because it's a very, very spiritual thing. And they're saying that you can actually use that to make good things happen in your day-to-day lives. So it benefits you in many different ways. Now, at the top of your crown, this is where I want to spend most of the time. This is what is a little gunked up. It's not coming in blocked, but it's saying it needs to be cleaned up. And your crown chakra is your connection to the solar, the moon energies, the space radiation, the distant galaxies, and pretty much everything out there. So this is a little gunked up. It could use some work. This mostly goes back to the moon cycles that I do. It's been a very strong moon cycle month for a lot of these readings. It's probably a good thing and maybe not coincidence that we're doing the moon cycle cheat sheet as well. So make sure you get that. It'll help everything flow a lot better for you. But a lot of you have made a decision here in your crown chakra or are making decisions here in the month of March that are relevant to these moon cycles. You're either bringing something into your life that's very important, or you're getting something out of your life that is very, very important. So they want you to do this. They want you to. They're pushing it in that direction. And a lot of you have already made that decision too. Or like I said, you're going to be in the month of March. This is not something that should wait. This is, if you know what I'm talking about here for you, you understand the context of what they're trying to say to you here, and you're just like, well, maybe I'll do that in April. Maybe I'll do that in May. Here they're telling you not to. The main thing that you can get with the timing right with is following the moon cycles, which we've already talked about. Go back and check that part of the reading out if you have any questions about it, and definitely check out the moon cycle cheat sheet that's going to be coming in the middle of the month for you if you're signed up for the newsletter. So definitely that allows you to do that. Also, crown chakra guided meditations, very good to do. If you do your personal meditations, sometimes just hearing a voice, having somebody walk you through certain things, very good for that chakra, that crown chakra, to be open and clear. If you do it all by yourself with no help, I like to listen to, you can just listen to something like a fan, or, YouTube's got good stuff for that too, like whirring sounds or motors. Also, white noise is good for that. I prefer pink noise. It's a little bit softer than white noise, but all that good stuff to just kind of quiet your mind, give yourself some distraction so that you can kind of focus on your meditation exactly. So that's what they really show. They want to focus mostly on the crown and a little bit on that emotional pull that's going on there that I talked about there in number 6. So that's going to be your entire chakra scrub and your entire scrub altogether. I want to thank you so much for joining, Libra. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. I do these every single month, along with a love reading on the 7th of every month and a mid-month update to kind of do a little refresher on all this good stuff. So that's going to wrap us up here. I'll see you guys soon. Take care and have a great March, would you?